Good game today. Found a way to get a win and kind of played sloppy at times, but Coach Glenn had his guys ready to play. He's obviously a good football coach. He has a strong track record, and every time we play these guys, it's a scrappy group that play hard. And we found a way to get a win. So we were able to overcome 3 turnovers, which was a concern for me, obviously, but we overcame those and found a way to put something together there in the fourth quarter.
Andrew Williams, 58-yard touchdown seemed like that.
It's a big play, kind of blew things open. We felt like we could get those guys loose and have some big shots. We had a couple other ones where we got some pass interference calls and some things like that. But those guys are, Andrew's tough to cover out there. Barrasso, those guys are just fast and big and strong, can run.
Eric, how does the adversity, help you down the road a little bit?
Well, you don't really ever like, as a coach, to have a game like that, but I think you need to have games like that, and it's good to see when our back's against the wall, we step up and answer the bell and go out and execute like we're capable of.
On the fourth down play, you guys went for the option pass. What was your thought on that?
Well, we were going to go for it. It was called Buffalo, and we run a toss play out of that. We run it quite a bit on 3rd and short. We have for years, and we always practice the Buffalo play. And just probably need to put a little more air on the ball and make the catch, but we're all in. We're going for it. We're not going to be conservative and hold back.
How much was the wind a factor in your estimation?
It was decent, at times. We were throwing the ball into the wind quite a bit, but when we had the wind with us, it was a little bit smoother. It did have a factor, though.
Derek Rivers with 4 sacks today. Is that the kind of game
He's a good player. Derek's a great guy, does things right off the field, and he's a sophomore in our program. He's got a bright future, and he's got a bunch of guys around him that work hard and help him out too. Sometimes those sacks come to you because the other side's getting pressure. Tom Sims, our defensive line coach, does a good job coaching those guys, and Jamie Bryan obviously schemes up stuff so we can try to get him in one-on-ones.
Defense kind of held things together there for a while while the offense was kind of working out the kinks. Just talking about their performance.
Well, I think those guys are coming together. I think they know when they communicate, when we communicate with each other and are talking, they can be a really good group. They play hard. Defensive lines being disruptive, and that's the whole key for us, is just communicating with each other, not taking anything for granted, and that's the way you need to play defense.
What advice or what did you tell Christian on the punt returns? He kind of let 2 go, and then he tried one.
It was just it was a situation. At the end of the day, it's a situation where the wind. We were trying to make educated guesses on how far the ball was going to be kicked, whether it was with the wind, into the wind, and we got to get those balls fielded. And we put him back there because he's had so much experience with punt returns, and he didn't practice all week, and because he was out from the previous game, but we just felt like he was the most sure-handed decision maker back there, and there's a lot of coaching lessons, learning lessons there, and even on some of the short punts that they had into the wind, we've got to do a better job of getting up there and making Peter calls, which is to get away from the ball, and that's something that we'll simulate in practice. And the guys that are on the return team are hearing it. We just got to get that executed faster, so that way we don't run into the ball on a short little kick into the wind.
With the win today, you obviously wanted to field it, correct?
No question.
Big game at Illinois.
You ever try to field a ball when it's windy like that?
A couple times, yeah.
How'd you do?
A couple times. I caught a couple, missed a couple.
Yeah, it's not an easy task. I know you're a professional athlete, but it is a difficult task.
Maybe just touch on the big game against Illinois State next week.
Well, we've always had interesting games with them every year, and we've had some interesting games out there, interesting games here. Coach Spack does a great job with his football team. Kurt Beathard was on my staff here last year. They hired him, I think it was before Christmas break. So he's the offensive coordinator there. Roommate of Jamie Bryant's and Eric Gallons while he was here. So it'll be an exciting game, be fun. They're a good football team, well coached. So we'll leave on Thursday. We're not flying. So we'll take off out here on Thursday and drive halfway and stop in Richmond and then finish the trip out on Friday.
Hunter had a bit of a slow start. He's had a couple slow starts. Obviously got it going in the end, but why do you think that is? He's starting off slow.
Well, it's he's a freshman. At the end of the day, he's a freshman, but he's a winner. He finds a way to win. He comes off the sideline and can tell you exactly what he saw, what was good and what was bad. So you don't have to worry about that. And but he is a winner. He'll find a way to win.
What was the overall difference? I know it's right after the game, but what do you think was the difference today for you?
Well, I think the 3 turnovers were obviously a big part of it. You don't very often overcome 3 turnovers in a football game because the only turnover we had was the one late in the game when Donald made a play on the ball. So really, when the game mattered, it was 3 turnovers favor to South Dakota. And, we can't turn the ball over. And that's something that we talk and emphasize all the time. And you got to take care of the football. And, some of those are kind of tricky things, kind of fluky, but it doesn't matter if it's a fluke or not, it's still a turnover. So we got to do a better job of managing football.
Did you witness Joe Glenn's kicking the flag? His technique?
I had heard about it. Joe Glenn, regardless of I've gotten a sideline foul too, but Joe Glenn is a fiery guy. He's very passionate, and that's what I love about him. He's a first-class man. He's had a great coaching career, and he's doing a good job there. And there's a lot of emotions running through us coaches during the course of the game. And he's coaching in his alma mater. It's important to him, and I'm sure he gets frustrated. And who knows? Maybe he was just walking. I didn't see the foul, so I'll have to look at it later. But he's a first-class guy, and I won't ever change that opinion.
Just your assessment of replays, because what maybe were overruled. You still
Yeah.
like it, or do you like it?
Well, I felt like the kickoff return, I felt like they crossed the end line there. And so obviously without looking at tape, and I think eventually we'll get to the point where review will have more than just one side of the stadium with review. When we get to a point where we have cameras on both sides, I think things like that will make it much easier on everybody that's involved. And then on Hunter's spot on the scramble on 3rd and 10 there, apparently the knee was down before the ball crossed the end line there, and he's just got to pick his feet up. But, those are things, the kinks that'll be worked out as we continue to move forward. I'd rather have replay than not.
Injury-wise, okay?
Jacob Wood got banged up there on the one pass play, but looks like he should be all right. I was concerned maybe it was going to be a knee, but he's got a sprained ankle there. But other than that, everybody's pretty healthy. Trying to get back to full strength. All week in practice, we had some linemen that didn't practice, O-line and stuff like that, and we just got to get a little bit healthy there. It's the way this conference is.
I didn't check and see if DeMond played on special teams.
He played on special teams. Yep.